Welcome to my fragrance show. We'll learn together and grow together. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yes. Oh yeah. Welcome to my fragrance show. I am Marshall's Blends Fragrance, and today we're going to be unboxing 3 of the new fragrances by Navitus Parfum. This one's creative directed by Buck from Big Beard Business, and I am excited to get into it, so let's get into it. The first one we're going to be opening is called The Keys. The Keys. There's a book that I read and I loved it, and I've read it several times, and it's one that I've done, no exaggeration, at least 20 random giveaways with this book. DJ Khaled wrote a book called The Keys, and in that book I tell people, if you are a happy person, it enhances your happiness, and if you're not a happy person, reading that book makes you want to be happy, because DJ Khaled is just that kind of a human being. Very positive. You come out of reading that book wanting to conquer yourself and reach your goals, because you know you are the best. One of the questions he says is, if I ask you if you're the best, what's your answer? And if your answer is not yes, something's wrong. So, The Key. Let's check it out. What do we say about the box? No, I don't say that, but okay. So the top notes to The Key: Italian bergamot, Mexican grapefruit, and Sicilian lemon. Citrus. So we know it's fresh. Heart is gin fizz accord, African ginger. I love ginger. The base notes are Haitian vetiver, Brazilian tonka bean, absolute, Indonesian patchouli, and sandalwood. So this is going to be something that I know I am going to love, because those notes just let you know that this is good. You have the citric opening, you have that ginger in the heart, and then you have the sandalwood that will round everything out. So let's see how it smells. The bottle, of course, is gorgeous. I gotta say, I love Navitus's bottles for all of their lines. The matted ones, the shiny ones, and the jeweled or gem-like ones. And their caps are for me, are absolutely awesome as well. Can you grab it from there? Yeah, you can. So adolescents, remember he'd say, the atomizer, nice and wide. Ooh, this smells so good. This immediately you get the ginger and the citrus. Immediately. This is a really good fragrance. If you don't like ginger, you may not like it, but that's just the opening, guys. Okay, I'm gonna spray it here. Oh, this is so fresh. This is such a fresh fragrance. I like it a lot. The opening gets an immediate 30 out of 10 for me, which is like an 8. If you like your fresh fragrances, naturally I would say this is definitely a summer fragrance. But can I tell you something? It's extrait. This is extrait concentration, right? Extrait de parfum. So if you want to wear this in fall or winter, I'm sure you can, because that ginger and that sandalwood and the tonka bean absolute, the Indian patchouli, and the vetiver, those are things that thrive in the winter and the fall. So you can definitely wear it. So the next one is called XO Brandy. XO Brandy. I would like to get to know if I could be the kind of fragrance you can be down for. 'Cause when I smell you, I feel something inside me. Tell me you're the kind of smell that I could make a move on. And if you want to smell so good, I suggest you get Navitas and buy a perfume. So here we go. XO Brandy. Look at that. XO Brandy. Okay, so I'm loving it. Okay, XO Brandy. Indian Divana. African almond and date fruit. Nice, right? Let's see, let me have it. There you go. Brandy Accord, Heliotrope, African Coffee Absolute, and Virginian Cedar Wood. So one thing I can tell you I love with coffee is cedar wood or cumin. Base notes: cane sugar, New Caledonian sandalwood, Indonesian patchouli, Southern American tolu balsam. So these are wonderful. So I must mention that Dominique Ropion is the perfumeur for the key. Dominique Ropion is the master perfumeur for the key. Sidonie Lancasser is the perfumeur for XO Brandy. And I have to say, these are two perfumeurs who I have loved. I remember when I started researching and finding out about the perfumers via Fragrantica and also listening to other people, I would purposely go and YouTube their names because I wanted to make sure I would pronounce it the way they pronounced it. And so Dominique Ropion is one that I love his name. And Sidonie Lancasser, I love how she says her name. Sidonie Lancasser. Sidonie Lancasser. I love it. So she is the one that has created XO Brandy. And I'm excited to smell this because it has, you guys know I love almond, especially a lactonic almond. And pair it with tonka bean and coffee and Virginian cedarwood specifically, not just any cedarwood, Virginian cedarwood. It's specific. It adds a sharpness. Virginian cedarwood adds a sharpness whenever there is coffee, and then it has that cane sugar, has that Indonesian patchouli, the sandalwood. I am ready. I'm ready to smell this. This one has a beautiful color. So for me, as a hair colorist, orange for me is brown. So it is a brown or an orange or what? I don't know what other thing could be called, but it's a beautiful jewel color. Oh, and that atomizer is nice and wide. Oh, that smells so good. Now it does have a slight medicinal energy to it at the opening, clearly. Yeah. This one is interesting, and it smells like it might have cumin in it, to be honest with you. It's candy, it's medicine, it's candied coffee. Have you ever had the candy coffees, like the toffee coffees? Like that's what the opening smells like. So it is a challenging coffee scent. It definitely is a challenge. The opening is a challenging coffee scent. It's the Divana, the Indian Divana, and the date fruit. You pick up the date fruit. That's what I'm getting. So it gives it that candy kind of energy, like coffee candy. And I'm sure that remember, I'm smelling it like this, but diffused. Once I stepped over there, it smelled so good. It smelled so good. It smelled so good. It kind of reminds me of, like the Black Phantoms, almost. And clearly that's because of that coffee note and the sandalwood. But it's not a clone, it's not a replica, it's not an inspiration. It is its own. This is its own thing. I have to be honest with myself and with you. You guys know I am partial to coffee scents. This, I feel it should get a 38 out of 10, but it's gonna get a 42 out of 10, simply because I love the blending. The blending that this has it's wonderful. Okay, it's wonderful. So, XO Brandy, is it boozy? Because of the name Brandy. It's maybe somebody may interpret it as boozy. That medicinal element that I interpret it as, possibly somebody would interpret it as boozy. It's candy-esque, but what it is totally delicious. So it's a 42 out of 10. Let me review the key again. The key is still so citric. It is still so fresh. And yes, it is going up to a 40 right now. So maybe it won't reach a 45, but for me, it's in the 40s. So as of right now, the key is a 40 out of 10. XO Brandy is a 42 out of 10. I like it a lot. Siesta Drive is the third one. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I smell so good. Like, I smell so very good. So good, like, so good. Siesta Drive. And the top notes are Italian bergamot, Sicilian lemon, Persian lime, Floridian grapefruit, Italian mandarin, Madagascan pink pepper, and Ivorian ginger. So if that's not telling you citrus opening, I don't know what is. If that's not telling you fresh opening, I don't know what is, because remember, ginger has its own citric type energy. The heart notes are lemon mascarpone accord, Balkan juniper berry, Madagascan geranium, and Paraguay petit creme. And the base notes are American lemongrass, Madagascan vanilla, Haitian vetiver, and African olibanum. So we have a little bit of incense in there. We have a lot of citrus smelling there. And we have the berries, the petit grain, the vanilla, and the Haitian vetiver. So I'm excited to see what this smells like. I'll be honest with you. So, okay, I'm expecting citrus, clearly. But the Madagascan vanilla, the Haitian vetiver, the African olibanum, Madagascan geranium, those are notes that I do not know. My brain doesn't have enough experience to be able to come up with or fathom what it will smell like. So the other ones I was able to kind of intuit it. This one, I know there's gonna be citrus, but the other notes that have been selected, I don't know how they play with the citrus. So this is gonna be new for me. I am expecting a fresh. This one is nice because it's matte. It is matte, opaque, transparent. So this bottle is really nice. For whatever reason, it reminds me of a coconut. It makes me think tropical. So let's spray that here. Okay, that's Siesta Drive. I'm gonna spray it all over. Oh, what I say. So it's citric, lemongrass. I do pick up lemongrass. This is all the way citrus. You know what this smells like? Down home lemonade. Down home lemonade mixed with black tea. That's what that opening is. This opening is, for me, I've never smelled something like this. I really like it. That vanilla plays so well with it. So now, with the vanilla coming in, this reminds me of a lemonade that my friend Anna makes, where she mixes Dominican vanilla into it. So this is the lemon fragrance I have been waiting for. And it's good for all seasons. I would not say that this is only for summer. This is for all seasons. So I must say, creative direction, Buck, you get a sparkling 50 out of 10 because your creative direction is, I want to say spot on, but what does that mean? It's able to appeal to many people. I can see myself gifting this to many different people, introducing people to something that they've never smelled. And the only one that I considered to be challenging is the XO Brandy because of the opening. It's medicinal or boozy, and that's the only one I consider to be challenging. The key is wonderful. It's wonderful. I like it a lot. Siesta Drive is the easiest one. It's the easiest one because if you have memories with lemonade, this will take you there. I'm not gonna say it's mass appealing because it's not, but it's mass connecting. There's a connection. The masses can connect to this scent. They may not be appealed to it, but when they smell it, they can connect a memory. I immediately connected to 3 memories. One of them being the juice that when I was 11 years old, I visited Honduras, Santa Rosa de Aguan, and I didn't really have an appetite for food. What I did do was drink a juice that was made from a hybrid lemon and orange that they had there, a lime and orange that they had there, and that was what I drank, and that was what it smelled like. The other thing that once the vanilla kicked in, it reminded me of, like I said, the Anna lemonade. And the third thing was when I started making my own sweet iced tea. So I would brew the tea apart in hot water, right? And as it was still hot, once it had gotten very dark, I would remove the tea bags and I would pour in a bunch of sugar into the hot water. And in another big bowl, I would cut a bunch of lemon and limes, and I would pour 2 to 3 drops of Dominican vanilla, and I would mix that, just the sugar, lemon, lime, and the few vanilla drops, no water added. The only water that would be added was that dark brewed tea. And then I'd take a 1/3 measure of cold water, pour that in there, and then the rest would be ice. Just ice, cold ice poured in there, and just let it be. And that's what this reminds me of. And I think it's because of the lemongrass. The lemongrass also, now that's a 4th memory. Living in Honduras, I used to love drinking lemongrass tea. So this one is interesting. What I can say is that Siesta Drive becomes softer. It's the softest of the 3. It's the softest of the 3. XO Brandy and the Key are both stronger, project louder, and XO Brandy is the loudest. So they're really good. They're really good. And they are fun to have tested and smelled. So these 3 are wonderful. XO Brandy, the Key, and Siesta Drive. Goodbye, my lovely fragrance blenders. I'll see and smell you soon. Laku noche, ta svedania. Ciao, ci vediamo domani. Nos vemos mañana. Daria Renew. Check you out.